Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and it's been a while since I've done a office setup room tour video, and a lot has changed very recently as well, as I've been putting out in small sort of update videos. But I figured since a lot has changed in this room, I wanted to do another full proper office tour, office setup, show you guys what's changed, what's new, how it all works behind the scenes. And I figured also to sort of backdate it to the 250k subscriber special. I'm nearly on 260,000 subscribers now. I think I've been at 250,000 for quite a while. I don't grow very quickly, and I never have, but I didn't do a video specifically for hitting 250,000. I think the last one was 200,000 when I did the previous setup tour video. So yeah, I figured I might as well just sort of backdate it for that, because, you know, it is a milestone and I probably should have done something for it. I promise if I get to 300,000, I'll do something a bit better. But yeah, thank you guys again, as always, for that. You guys may allow me to do what I do and be able to support myself with it, with YouTube, Twitch, all that kind of stuff. Your support is, you know, never taken for granted. And I without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So thank you all so much for that. And I hope you continue to enjoy the content that I'm going to be hopefully making with all of this upgraded stuff. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. I guess one thing I will say is, if you want to see sort of the progression of my rooms, I guess you could say, my setup, you can check out I think I did one in 2015, which was in the old house in my parents' place, 2017, which was in our previous house when we first moved in together, then 2019, which was, I think, the 200,000 subscriber special, which was in this room, but a very different setup to what it is now. And then obviously 2021, this is going to be how it is currently, and I've done a lot of upgrading over the last basically 2 or 3 months, so you'll get to see it all. It's pretty much all done. There's one or two little things that are going to be added, but apart from that, everything's pretty much ready to show. So let's get into it. Okay, so I'm standing by the doorway for where you would come into the room, and I guess we'll start with a few things that are the same. For example, the softbox light up there, this portal disc plate on the wall, these plastic boxes that I've sort of rearranged, they were the same as what were in the 2019 video. I am going to be switching that up and getting a proper set of drawers for that space, so I can get rid of the plastic drawers. And these bookcases are largely the same as what was in the 2019 video as well. So I'm going to leave links in the description to the 2015, 2017 and 2019 room tour videos, so you can sort of catch up. And if you want to see these bookshelves, bookcases, all the stuff that's on there in more detail, check out the 2019 video, because I'd rather sort of focus more on the things that have changed. There might be a few more cars here than what were in that 2019 video, but everything else is largely the same. So you can check that out. And if you want to see, you know, all of the subscriber milestone videos, obviously this is for 250,000 subscribers, but I've been doing them from, I think the first one I did was a 5,000 subscriber milestone special video. They're all in the playlist that's also linked down below in the description in the order that they happen as well. So feel free to check those out. You know, they're all in the description. They're all in the pinned comment. I'll put them in as well. And anything that you see in this room as well, especially in terms of the setup, you can see on bruffy.com/setup. I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. That will give you links to all of the items that I've got here, all of the things that are in my PC. You know, everything that you see in this room during this office tour, you can just check that link in the description and it lists everything that's part of this setup. So in comparison to that 2019 video, it is a little bit different around here now, and mainly in the setup of the desk. Now the 2017 to the 2019 video, and there wasn't that much of a difference with that, because I set up my office in the house that we had before this in such a way that I just really liked it. So when we came to move into this house, I just basically put the same setup. I had a corner desk over here, the desk extended there and then went over to here, and then I had sort of things over there as well. In fact, I had this. This was previously over there, and this was a corner desk. Now it's exactly the same desk as what you see in that 2017 and 2019 video, but I just made a little few modifications to it to make it one long desk rather than a corner desk, because with that in mind I had this that I wanted to fit. So obviously, as you know, I've been starting to play iRacing, and I kind of wanted to do it properly, and especially towards the back end of last year and the start of this year when I had COVID, I had a bit of free time on my hands where I was kind of sat around figuring out whether I could even fit something like this. And I came up with, after a lot of thinking, I came up with this idea to make a very long desk, put a monitor here, and make a sort of separate section just for sim racing rig. So this is what I'm going to be using now for iRacing streams, iRacing videos. We'll come on to that. But that was sort of the catalyst for the entire office change. And then once I started on the idea of switching that up, I kind of went crazy with it. I've got all new monitors, new cameras we've talked about in previous sort of small update videos, new almost everything, to be honest, in here. So yeah, this had to be moved from this location just to make way for the desk because it is so long. So that's why that's there now in the middle of the two bookcases. We've got the Lego on the top, which is the same as what it was. Again, basically this is the same as in the 2019 video, just moved over here with the bookcases either side, and obviously the YouTube play button there as well. And my degrees as well, but we don't need to focus on those too much. I just thought that was a nice little place for all that kind of stuff. So that's the same poster as well. And in general, the sort of the way that I have things set up is largely the same. For example, I've still got a camera here, which for streams gives the setup shot. It's just the camera itself is now different. Most of the things that you'll see here are different, but it's all set up in the same sort of way. The lava lamp has made a return to the streams. Previously, I've had that there because I didn't really have any better place for it, so I put it there, but it was sort of outside of the shot when it came to the setup cam for the streams. But then this new camera that I got, which I will talk about, that has a wider field of view, so it's now allowed the lava lamp to get back into the streams again. So new chair as well. I'm kind of, now that I'm 30, I'm trying to focus a bit more on posture and getting something that's a little bit more comfortable and something that's going to support my back a little bit better. So I actually just got this today. So yeah, it seems very good, and I'm very hopeful for it that it's going to improve things a little bit better in that way. So yeah, let's sit down and go through everything, shall we? So this is what I see when I'm streaming, making YouTube videos, all that kind of stuff. This is my perspective of the action. You're always seeing me from, over there this way. This is the what I'm seeing. And I kind of want to get a little bit more into the nuances of how the setup works as I have it, because I don't think I've really done that since the original 2015 setup to a video, and I'm really happy with what I've been working on and doing with this new setup. Everything just sort of works nicely and flows together, and it's a lot easier to manage from my perspective when it comes to streams and making videos. So I'd like to get into that a little bit more. One thing I will mention before I start is cable management has gotten a lot better from the 2019 video. There are still some cables back there, but it's a hell of a lot better than it used to be. I took a bit of more extra effort for tucking cables away, and especially over here for the rig, all the cables come down and go into there and tuck nicely away. So yeah, I definitely paid a little bit more attention. Considering I was having everything out and putting it all back in fresh, I wanted to, do a little bit more with that. So I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with this whole setup, to be honest. It's been an exciting time, and it's nice to be upgrading everything and making it better, because that will ultimately make streams and videos better for you guys. So we're going to start here. This is my main workstation PC. This is, again, if you want to see the specs, it's on the bruvia.com/setup page. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but yeah, all the specs for both of my PCs are on there as well, so you can check out that. Again, linked in the description and the pinned comment. And we come up here, I've got controllers on this, which used to actually be on that piece of desk, but I switched that over when I moved it all. But yeah, I think that works nicely to sort of hide away the controllers when I'm not using them. This is an updated version of my previous headset. I love it so much. Sennheiser headset, you know, it's the best. It really is. So I basically just got the newer version of the same headset that I already had, and this has been something that's really helped. It's very simple. It's just a switcher for USB devices, and I have my mouse and keyboard plugged into that, and then I just have to press the button and it switches from having my mouse and keyboard control my workstation PC to controlling the gaming PC. So I can just on the fly switch which PC the mouse and the keyboard are using. Really helpful for when I'm playing games on PC and things like that. And on that note, talking of switcher boxes, this has kind of changed my life as well. This is a HDMI matrix. So the gaming PC basically to me acts like a console. It's essentially just all it does is play games. I mean, I can do whatever I want on it, but I don't do anything on it apart from use it as a gaming rig. So the gaming PC plays games, and that feeds into this HDMI matrix. So does, as we go behind here, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. I am getting some black side panels for the PS5. It is a big boy, but yeah, those also feed into that HDMI matrix. So I've got 3 inputs. I can have up to 4, so there is still space for something else, and 2 outputs. So the HDMI matrix puts 1 output to the main screen, and then 1 output to the AverMedia Live Gamer 4K that I have in the Workstation PC. So that captures the footage. And I can just use this remote to choose which input I want. PC is on 1, PS5 is on 2, Xbox Series X is on 3. I can just choose, using this, which output that I want, and I can have it independent as well. So I can have something different displaying here to what I will be displaying on the stream. And it's been an absolute life changer. It makes things so much easier in comparison to various switches and splitters that I had previously. It's just great. It's fantastic. So that's making things so much easier when it comes to streams and recording footage from different platforms. This is also pretty new as well. I previously had the original Stream Deck and I decided to upgrade to the Stream Deck XL. It's just, you know, more buttons to do stuff with. So I can go to there. This contains things. I actually only got this yesterday, so I'm still going to be putting a lot more buttons on here to work with. It was actually quite overwhelming. I previously had 15 buttons to play with on the old Stream Deck, and now I've got 32. So yeah, it's certainly going to be a lot better for when it comes to streaming and just changing scenes on the fly, doing what I need to do, putting the chat box on, and when crazy things happen, things like that. That pretty much all happens from the Stream Deck. So yeah, it's both of these things are 2 very helpful things when it comes to streaming. Something that's not needed, there's other ways to do it. It's just they're really making things a lot easier when it comes to streaming and putting on a sort of an entertaining stream that doesn't have too much slowdown or times where I'm not, you know, active or doing something because I'm too busy faffing about in OBS, changing scenes and things like that. So this is my new keyboard. It's a Ducky Shine 7, and I think out of all of these upgrades that I've made, I've got, you know, all 3 monitors are new monitors. The camera's new. There's so many new things in this room, but this keyboard is probably my favorite. Since 2014, I had the same keyboard, a Corsair K30. It was okay. It did me well. It was my first keyboard for my first PC build, which was actually in that case. Obviously, it's all different stuff in there now, but this has transformed my typing. I love it. A Ducky Shine 7. It's got brown keys, brown Cherry MX keys, and I love it. I love the typing experience on this thing, and I'm just so happy that I finally upgraded my keyboard, because yeah, I do a lot of typing, and this has just made it so much nicer. I forgot to mention actually that I've got the controllers on there, but there is one extra controller here that's always plugged into this PC. So I use the Elite controller for the PC that's always plugged in there, just to make it easier, you know. So just because people will no doubt ask me, this is something that Zexy got me and sent over when we very first met back in early 2016. So I always keep that there, and obviously pictures of her over there. And these things, this timer is basically for when I work. I have a bad habit of, and I always have, working too much. So I use the timer to count down my hours. You know, I try to keep it a lot more set now with how much I work and how much time I'm spending, you know, at home. I've got family to look after and a house to look after and things like that. Back in 2014, 2015, when I was in my parents' room, I used to be able to just make videos all day, every day. I can't really do that now, and I have to set myself some limits and focus on what's more important, things like that. And the timer just keeps me right when it comes to things like that. It only focuses on YouTube, but my stream times are sort of set, but this is for when I'm working on YouTube or making videos or doing other admin type stuff, I guess. And finally, a thermometer. The PS4 used to be under here, by the way. I was wondering maybe whether the PS5 would fit, and then I actually received it and had to, you know, take out a couple of windows to be able to fit it in the house. So there was no way the PS5 was going to go under there. So I've just used it for these little things. But yeah, I got a thermometer last year because it gets really warm in this room, and I wanted to prove how warm it got, honestly. I don't think people on the stream believed me, but yeah, this area now used to be the corner of the desk. So this part of the desk used to come out across here, and it all used to be pushed up towards the back wall there. But I decided to leave this in because it kind of it's handy, you know. I can have a few things underneath like that, a few things on the top, and it just works. I found a place for, you know, my glasses. Those are my gunners that I use that help me with eye strain and things like that. And yeah, it's just this is largely the same setup as what it was in 2019 and by extension 2017 as well. It's just everything is kind of new, and it makes things a lot nicer. So yeah, as we come over here, we've got the gaming PC, as I mentioned, and all of that's plugged into the matrix with the consoles. So it all just sort of works seamlessly together. We do have the mic arm. It's the same microphone and the same mic arm that I had before. I can just pull that this way when I'm streaming, push it back, and then pull it sort of over here for when I'm in here. And then the new camera as well. I think I used to only have these three, so I added two more for sort of better sound dampening. But yeah, this camera, obviously the 4K, it's the camera that you were watching me on at the very first part of the video. And yeah, that's been a really nice addition as well. Obviously I've been doing that 4K upgrade, and the camera's played a big part in that. It's really, really nice, really good picture, and I'm really happy with how that looks now. So coming over this way, we got the Twitch and subscribe pillows that kind of used to be behind me on shots in the previous setup. They're now over there. They still show up on the setup cam. And then we come to sort of the biggest change, which is the new sim rig. And yeah, I've got to say, it's even better than I imagined it would be, honestly. Okay, so I decided to go back to a wide angle shot and actually get in it, so you can see sort of my perspective from this. And I expected it to be, you know, good, but I didn't quite expect it to be as good as what it is when I'm actually in here. I've got iRacing on the screen, and I'm driving, and it just feels so much like I'm connected with the car, which is always something that I felt a little bit of a struggle with when it comes to sim games. I just don't think the setup has been quite right. So it's the same wheel that I previously had on the Wheelstand Pro, except now it's on this play seat. I've got new pedals, which are load cell pedals, and they're a hell of a lot better as well. The pedals I previously had were really not good. And this used to be my main monitor. This was the curved 32-inch monitor that used to be over there. And honestly, I felt that it was too big for over there. I used to have this monitor, 32-inch in the middle, and then two 21-inch monitors on the side. I've changed to having a 27-inch 4K monitor in the middle and two 24-inch 1440p monitors on the side, and that fits a lot better for that setup, honestly, in my, like, at least for me. And that was all part of the idea of utilizing this bigger curved monitor for the sim rig setup. And then we've got a camera there, which again, all of these sort of cables feed through, and where they need to be, they all sort of go back to the Workstation PC. But that's the camera that you'll be watching me on when it comes to iRacing videos, things like that. It's actually the same camera as the setup video, the setup camera, AverMedia 4K webcam PW513, I think it is. They were kind enough to send me one of them, and I bought another one because I liked it so much. Certainly, they're not cheap, but they're certainly a lot cheaper than the camera up there. So they're perfect for sort of, at least for what my purposes, having 4K, going for 4K. They're perfect for, you know, a setup or secondary camera, again, for the sort of the sim rig setup. So yeah, this is what I look at. I mean, obviously there's normally gameplay on there, but this is my perspective. This the screen and all of this kind of stuff is plugged into the gaming PC. So the way that it works is the gaming PC outputs to obviously the HDMI connects to the matrix, which goes to the PC over there and the monitor. But then there's also a DisplayPort cable that is basically mirroring what, you know, the desktop and the screen, and that goes directly to here. So whatever is on here will be on there, will be on the stream footage that goes into the PC, and it'll be on here as well. And I can obviously I can turn that on or turn that off when I need it to be on. And everything just works, you know, everything just works nicely. I can basically be sat there on iRacing, set up a race, click, get in the car, and then I actually come here and actually get in the car, and I'm seeing the same thing on that screen as I did on there. So it's really nice. And I think I need to set up a few things. That, for example, I got this wireless mouse out because I want to have sort of a mouse down here in case I need it. And I might need to set up something that allows me to sort of read chat or control something while I'm down here. But really, I shouldn't be doing that when I'm trying to race anyway, so maybe I won't. Just so you know, this radiator is never on. So I'm always going to be, I'm never going to be too hot. It's never on. It hasn't been on since I moved in. So yeah, this is just the right place for it. And the way that, you know, the monitor is mounted so close to the steering wheel is so much better than my old setup where I was sat over there and having to look at the monitor that was far away. And I really like how sort of my feet have to go in under the desk as well. It kind of feels more cockpity and more real. And the position, this seat is very comfortable. It just all works. So yeah, it's been a big change doing all of this, but it's making me happy. And that's also, I think, coming through in videos and streams and things like that. It's all feeding into it. It's not only making the things better quality wise, but it's also making, you know, my feelings about these things better, and that's also feeding into being able to make better videos. So I think that is pretty much it. We'll do one last sweep of everything so you can see. But yeah, this is my new office setup. This is how it all works. This is what I sort of come into almost every day to make videos. When I'm streaming, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm using. Like I said, all of the items that you've seen here, the specs for the PCs, which the gaming PC needs to get a bit of an upgrade soon anyway, but it's all on brovie.com/setup. Link for that in the description if you want to see previous setup videos to see how things have changed, because bloody hell, things have changed a lot over the years. They're all linked in the description as well. And yeah, I guess once again, thanks to you guys for making all of this possible. You know, without all of you supporting me, watching the videos, donating, subscribing on Twitch, being a member on YouTube, all that kind of stuff, all of your support means so much. And I wouldn't be able to do all this without the help of you guys just enjoying what I do and supporting me as much as you can. And I greatly appreciate it, and it's never lost on me. And just thank you so much for that. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Let me know in the comments all of your thoughts. And yeah, just thank you guys. Thank you for everything, and hopefully I can use all of this to continue to make even better content, even better videos, even better streams. And let's just keep going as always. So thank you guys so much. Seriously, thank you for everything, and I'll see you in the next one.